Our world continues to change and push us in ways we have not been challenged before. On this show, we talk about these challenges, how to be aware of them, face them, and overcome them in your life. This is David Waldas, creator of the Aligned Living System.
And I'm Nick Musica, Aligned Living Coach. Welcome to the Aligned Living System podcast.
Welcome to the Aligned Living System podcast. This is David Waldas here with Nick Musica. Our topic today is aligning with the organizing energies of the universe. And let's start with a basic premise of that there is an organizing energy, right? A lot of people call it God. A lot of people call it source, universe, synchronicity. And it doesn't matter. I think that, scientists call it biology, chemistry, physics, right? Like there's this undeniable reality that there is something organizing all of life and all of experience here on this planet. And I remember as a kid and even young adult, and even like now if I stop and think about it too much, it's pretty weird, like thinking about our autonomic system, right? Like our system that works on its own, like our heart's beating, it's circulating the blood, our brain is receiving the right amount of blood. It's it's like as when it gets cold out, we pull some of the blood from our extremities, and like there's just all this stuff going on. Our brain's actually working, it's holding all this information, it's accessing all this information. Like how is that even possible, right? And then we're interacting with other people, we have all this organization. And I think about it too, like there's so many, obviously we live in the US, but how many countries are there, how many areas are there in the world where there isn't the same kind of linear layout and there's chaos, how traffic works? Or I remember being in Portugal and just watching people move in and out of each other, or in Mexico, or that somehow it works, right? There's this organized chaos that we look at weather patterns, like I often think about satellite views of a hurricane. It's a perfect organized system, but that's beautiful, but from the inside it looks like complete chaos. And so I don't know how anybody could deny that there is an organizing force in the universe. I mean, it's just, we see it everywhere, no matter how literal we take reality, no matter how third dimensional we look at reality. And so with that, then the next assumption is that for our highest good? And people that see it from, a perspective of God, or a perspective of universe, or perspective of, some higher power, we have to look at it through that organizing energy is bringing us to what's perfect for us. And it's our life purpose. It's our energetic signature. And to me, that's what aligned living is all about, is aligning our will with that organizing energy of the universe. And so that's the whole game. And I think it really is that simple, because when we look at our lives and we go, all the times when my ego hijacked me, or I use my ego to hijack my life and decided to go somewhere different than the organizing energies of the universe were trying to create for me. I decided I wanted to be a specific way and I forced it into being, or I, ignored those hunches. I ignored those synchronicities. I ignored whatever because of fear, or because of greed, or because of envy, or because of desire, right? And those are all the emotional games our ego plays with us, and we chase these things. And then, so what does the organizing energy of the universe do when we get out of synchronicity with that organizing energy? It takes all of the experiences in our life and it utilizes them in order to bring us back in alignment with that organizing energy. And so when we know whether we're aligned with that organizing energy or whether we're unaligned with it, which is when our ego takes over, and we decide, this is what I want, this is what's great for me, this is how it's got to be, and it's this big win that I often don't want once I've achieved it. To bring us to that point, that moment, just that clarity, the simplicity of, am I aware of this organizing energy? Can I align myself with it? Am I aware of how my ego wants to go rogue and move away from what's actually best for me and create all these scenarios where it gets to feel powerful and important and, redeemed, or whatever it is, whatever game it's playing that day, whatever our themes are from our trauma that's pulled us off of our alignment, that's pulled us, into competition and into, antagonizing relationship with this organizing energy. It's kind of silly when we break it down that much and just look at, well, why wouldn't I just align with what this organizing energy wants for me? Because when I do, it's always spectacular. It's always absolutely everything I could hope for and more because it's usually something we didn't see coming. So, good morning, Nick. How are you, sir?
Good. I was just about to write a note, something you said, but I'm lucky that I remembered it.
Stay aligned with that organizing energy and you'll know it.
Yeah, it was shit, I think I got it. It was the antagonistic relationship with this organizing energy. What a lovely phrase
Mm,
to
mhm.
way to a lovely phrase, a lovely way to say out of alignment. Like, why are things so hard? Why are things not going my way? Why are
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That sounds like an antagonizing relationship with
absolutely, right?
your better self. Yeah.
Yeah, and isn't it awesome to, like, make the realization to go, "Oh, there's actually this organizing energy that can show me exactly what's available to me beyond what I could ever imagine, and all I have to do is align with it, and it's that
Yeah.
simple."
Yeah.
And here's the thing that makes it not that simple, is we've been conditioned from day one to be focused on desires and, the positive and the negative aspects of it of like,
Oh,
"Oh,
man.
this makes me happy." But does it? Or does it just resolve something that's making me uncomfortable? This or I redeem myself or I, whatever bullshit our ego is sorting through to convince us in that moment, to pull us into the container that goes against the organizing energy of the universe. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's generational, and we learn
Yeah.
it from our parents, and we're
Oh my god.
embedded in it from the moment we are born,
What a
from before we're born.
such a tangled web, right? We get the conditioning from mom and dad, then we get the habits that we build on top of that or in opposition to it, and then we get the world throwing their values at us, and then we hunker down or react to it, and it's like, "I'm ready to go now." No. No, you're
Yeah,
not.
yeah, it's funny. I remember getting this download about kind of the stages of life, right? Like where we come
Mm.
in and we're just this kind of blank slate to a certain degree. Like if you believe that you're a being being reincarnated, we forget a
Yep.
lot of all that, and we just come in with this purity, and we just go, "Wow, what's all this?" Right? And then we start to learn in our microcosm of reality of what reality is. And our family teaches it to us, our immediate circle teaches it to us. And
Yeah.
then at a certain point, we go off to school. And then our world, our little organized world of reality clashes with our teachers and our classmates. And all of a sudden now there's like, oh, there's a conflict in what reality is. It becomes more complicated and we defend it and we go no that's what this is that's what and then at a certain point we reach a third level. It's like, oh, you know just because I learned this from the beginning doesn't mean there's not another perspective, right? And then we start to broaden beyond our original perspective of what reality is. And then when we do that, we get really proud of ourselves and go, "Gosh, I'm very worldly now," or I'm educated or whatever. And we start to really double down on it now because I figured it out. It wasn't just me coming from the trappings of my little world. I went to a bigger world. And then we have another experience where we travel abroad or we go to college or we work in another setting or whatever it is, and we go, "Oh, now there's another reality." And we go, "Gosh, now I'm really getting worldly. Now I'm really getting expanded." And we double down on that. Like, here's the truth now. Not seeing in retrospect the reality, the ridiculousness of how much we thought our truth before was the truth, because our human brain wants to just claim it and give us a safe reality to be in. Um, and then we go out into the world and we express that as our truth. And those of us on the spiritual path, quite often we reach another point where we're like, oh gosh, there's actually all this expansiveness and all that I don't know. And we get really humbled again. um and then we start to learn the rules from our spiritual groups, and then we get all back in our ego again because now we know how things work again. And we just keep looping back and forth between this work with the ego and this expansion of a greater reality, and each time believing completely that we've figured it out versus and then at a certain point we get to the point of like, actually I have no idea, it's so much bigger than me, I have no clue. And to me, like, that's beautiful. And that's the place when we can just go, okay, great. We don't need to understand. Let's just bring it back to the simplicity of there's an organizing energy. And I've found that if I cooperate with it, life is absolutely beautiful. And I've
Yeah.
also found that if I don't cooperate with it and I get into these ego stories and these battles and my elbows go out or I shut down or whatever bullshit I'm working through, um, things get really tough. and all roads lead back to I need some sort of organizing energy in my life.
Yes, all of that. As you were talking, I heard Forrest Gump, but instead of chocolates, he said, "Life is like a box of Legos."
You can make whatever you want with them.
Yes, and what would you make from it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Are you gonna follow the
specific.
instructions, or are you gonna get creative?
Well, let's pretend there's no instructions.
Yeah.
You would create something that you're familiar with. You would create something from your own imagination. It's limited
Yes.
by design
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
until someone goes, "Look what I created," and you go, "Oh shit, I had no idea you could do that. What tell me about
Right.
that thing?"
Paradigm. I was stuck inside a paradigm. Now I'm broken, and now I'm gonna move to that new paradigm, and then I'm gonna reclaim that paradigm as this is the truth.
Right.
Because we want a container to feel safe in, rather
Yeah.
than an organizing energy to align with. And
Yeah.
when we can stop creating these containers, these small containers to live in, to hold on to our truth, and recognize that we're in this expansive in this expansive reality that we can align with this organizing energy, instead of I figured it out. I know the rules. I know how this works, versus like all I know is I am on a ride, and when I align and when I
Oh,
utilize
man.
these organizing energies, life just becomes next level and next level and next level. And I couldn't have imagined it from where I was looking at it from, as
Yeah.
you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking and talking a lot about habits with folks lately.
Mhm.
And the summary statement is, what got you here won't get you there type of thing. But here's
Absolutely.
and here and here's the part
Unless
that's
it's
like,
unless it's aligning with the organizing energy of the universe.
yes, and I think there's a cycle to it, at least
Mhm.
from a human perspective, right? So like,
Yeah.
so what you were able to build
Yeah.
was capacity and habits, and now we're at a standstill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what we need
That
to do is
plateau.
build new capacities with
Mhm.
new habits to build the next thing. Except
Yeah.
here's the tricky part. The new thing at some point slides back and becomes the old thing again.
Yes.
Like where it's just this cycle of new habits and new capacities and building and new habits and new capacities and
Claiming
building.
them, getting stuck in them.
Yes, it's
Yep.
wonderful. It's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's
it's
such
ever
a wonderful
expanding,
thing.
and
Yes.
that's the piece too, when I look at the breakdown, the new breakdown of aligned living, that it's like sovereignty brings clarity, right? And so the consciousness lock, outside world, inside world,
Oh,
clarity, aligning our will with God's will, aligning our will with the organizing energy of the universe, opening up in wonder to what it wants to bring, stabilizing ourselves, and allowing that to come in. And then the step 3, which is expanding to hold everything that the universe is bringing you, expanding to hold and stabilize everything that God is bringing you. And that's the
yeah.
piece where it's an ever expanding experience. And so go, oh, I figured out how to align with the organizing energy of the universe. And people would say, oh, that's great. I'm very spiritual, and I do yoga and I meditate and I align with the organizing energy of the universe. Okay, do you expand with it? Right? Or have you locked it down and go, I know how this works now? Like, yeah, at the level that you're experiencing it. Or do you go, what else is universe bringing me? What else is God bringing me? How does this expand? It's, like, until we're beings of light, there's an expansion available. And the moment we're trying to lock it down and the understanding at which we're experiencing it, we're creating a small little box again at whatever level, as you were saying, that we've, now it's old. Right. And so when we're on this journey, it's ever expanding. There's always greater reality. And there's always another level of expression of self. There's another level of, in this internal power that we can hold and create with, and affect the world in beautiful, positive ways, unless you're already a light being, but even then, like, you're still steps down from that organizing energy. And so you still got shit to do.
Man, I brought my machine, the one I'm currently talking on, to Apple last night because the battery is for a long time has been saying you should really get some service on this thing. And I go in there and it's $200 to replace the battery and 5 to 7 business days. And I'm like, who? I have one machine, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to work without a machine for a week and a half, and some 7 days? And I'm like, well, how long is this machine going to work?
Hmm.
Like, well, you're going to stop getting updates. Your OS is going to stop getting updates
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. And we'll make sure of it.
Yes. And he basically said that.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's just
that's it. We stopped supporting it. The
because all,
languages.
all of the software expands, all of the interactions with
Yes.
the web and AI expands, so you need greater capacity. And so if
Yes.
you don't shift your
Yes.
hardware,
Yes.
You're not going to be able to keep up with the greater capacity.
Yes.
So it's not us making it obsolete to get paid. It's because there's greater capacity, and both are true.
Both are, yes. One's a business model. And at the same time, the OS will stop updating. You'll still get security for 2 updates for another 2 years or 2
Hmm.
iterations, whatever you said. And then you'll stop getting security updates. And then your shit's going to stop working.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I'm sitting, and for the first time, I was just like, yeah, it's just so irritating. But like, that's just how it works. Like,
Yeah,
now I'm looking at new computers. Like, what's the
yeah,
best option right now?
yeah,
And what we're talking about is the spiritual self-development version of that paradigm. It's
yeah.
just how it works.
Yeah, and we do update our hardware, right? And we do it by what we put into it, right? Our body's
Yeah.
always regenerating. We do it through our thoughts. We do it through, it's
Um,
biological hardware, but it's constantly updating. And it's interesting when you look at spiritual people. Some spiritual people, like the old school, was like density and and like being overweight and out of shape and sick all the time and that conflict with the organizing energy. And and now it's so cool to see like spiritual people becoming healthier and healthier and healthier,
yeah. Yeah.
but also getting stuck in that sometimes. And then it's like this,
Yeah.
body ego stuff instead of it all being this one integrated system that, of course, we end up being in great shape. Of course, we end up becoming more attractive. Of course,
Yeah.
we end up doing all these things because, it's all about holding this light and being organized and allowing that to happen rather than fighting against it and being in struggle.
Totally. And so I'm looking at the new machines last
Hmm.
night, right? And I'm like, 14 inches, 16 inches. They don't have 15 inches anymore, which is what I have. And and I'm talking to a gentleman about the Mac Pro, the new
Hmm.
one,
Yeah.
and he opens up my settings and he sees what it's all about and he goes, you're going to notice a world of difference about a year after your machine came out. The
Hmm.
processor changed. You
Yeah.
have an
Yeah.
Intel, we have a Mac. Like, the
Yeah.
upgrade is significant.
Absolutely.
You can actually consider using an AirBook,
Yeah.
because that
That would be
AirBook
yeah,
beats up
yeah,
your current machine, right?
yeah,
And so
crazy,
we're
right?
talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, once you agree
Mhm.
to the new thing,
Yeah,
your operating system is
yeah,
radically different.
yeah, it's like, "Oh, that's the body you were in when you were playing JV sports. Now you're in varsity, now you're in college, now you're in the pros." Yeah, your body needed to adjust. Your hardware needed to adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. And we can fight against it, and we can go like, "Oh, this is unfair. This is Apple screwing us over, creating obsolete stuff." Sure, it's a business model to it, which pretty uncool.
Yes.
And massive innovation. Like, why do we keep going back to Apple? Because of all the
Yes.
innovation, because it works, because,
Yes.
like, and so do we fight the things we don't like? Like, yeah, like spirituality is tough. There's a lot of shit that we need to do in order to hold our alignment that isn't our preference. Like, would I like to be eating, ice cream or like part of me would, but does that part of me like is just so obsolete now that like it doesn't ever get a vote anymore. Like it's just not interesting to me. And so do I want it? I don't want it but do I want it? Well, I guess I can go find that part of me that wants it and go resurrect him.
I can find that part of me pretty easily. The ice cream part, so
Uh-oh.
easily.
I think you just threw it down with the universe now. There's gonna be
Don't do it. Don't do it.
yeah, careful what you say, man.
So
How do you
the
think it
the
happened for me? Yeah.
oh, man. So the last laptop metaphor. So as I'm weighing battery, new machine,
Mhm.
now I'm going, well, how much is this machine worth? Can I trade it in? And now I'm doing the math, and it's worth all but a buck 40 from Apple,
Yeah.
$140. And he says that after he says, well, let me look at the bottom. And I'm like, and he says, well, the bottom is not bulging. I'm like, what?
The
What?
battery.
Yes, the battery's not expanding and pushing through the casing,
Yeah.
which again is like, how much pain do you want to go through versus
So the
the
doctor says,
growth?
"Let me look at your bottom." My gosh, it's
It's
like pushing through,
expanding.
it's like expanding, and this isn't gonna be much of a trade-in. Yeah.
No, this is terrible. So there's a price to pay for not expanding.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And then it's like then you're sitting at your computer trying to process a video or you're, like, trying to, like, get basic shit done and your processor's overwhelmed and it's moving so slow and you're wasting a whole bunch of your time versus like, so what? So I need a new computer. That's the reality of things right now. Is it
Yeah.
my mission on here to go fight that? No, my mission is to utilize what the universe gives me and to utilize it well and let it align for me.
Yeah.
But I can go into a struggle and go, gosh, I shouldn't have to spend, like, it's ridiculous. You realize how much waste there, like, is it? Is it really? Or is it actually what this looks like because technology is growing so fast?
Yes. And we are technology. And I
And
will
yeah.
also say this. I will also say that it's been a long time since I made the very generous offer to McDonald's to be the sponsor. That is off the table. I think what makes more sense for everyone is for Apple to be the sponsor
Yeah,
after
there
this
you go.
conversation.
There you go.
I think
Absolutely.
I think that works
Yeah,
way
but,
better. Give us a call.
can I hold this up? There we go. Oh, hang on a second.
Yeah.
My iPhone was
Phone call coming in. Yeah. Yeah.
my iPad, where is it? And it's a suite too, right? It's so nice, like
It
it's
all works.
yeah,
It all works.
and that's like and everything our egoic brain is gonna perceive problems with everything. And yes, there are. And then at the level of consciousness we're working at, how perfect can it be? And what we find is that the more we raise our consciousness, the more perfect it becomes.
Mhm.
And you know, I just love the simplicity of that. And when I look at aligned living, that's 100% what it's about. 100%. How do we stop getting entangled in the world, align our will with this organizing energy, open up to it, bringing all this synchronicity and beauty in our life, and offering us everything that our growth and expansion has to receive. And then part of that expansion to be able to hold it all so that it's stabilized. And then also being really clear that, and what comes next, another level, more expansion. And to me, when I look at my life and the most painful periods has been the
Mhm.
plateaus, and people go like, gosh, your life's so dynamic. I'm like, yeah, expansion is dynamic and it's awesome. And can we trust it? And to me, like what's painful, like stagnation, plateau, it's like the even the like the time between projects. I did the time between inspirations. And I don't think I have those gaps anymore. Whereas before I'd have
Mm.
an inspiration, I could work on it, it would kind of run its course, and then there'd be a downtime waiting for the next inspiration. And that was hell. And I don't feel like I have that anymore because like the inspiration just keeps evolving and I go to finish something and before I can even, the ink is dry on it or however you want to look at it, the next version of it's already here. And I'm like, shit. All right.
Yeah.
Which is, so fun about doing the coach training, right? Because, we'll keep doing updates for people because it keeps expanding and they get to keep
Yeah.
expanding as coaches and they get to keep their clients expanding. And, it's what we're doing here talking about this, like how, we're doing a podcast every week, like, and what we're talking about keeps expanding.
That is, as I've stepped more fully into the coaching realm, that is one of the more fun things about it is I'm chasing way less external technology, shall we say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Less the laptop situation.
That's just a
It
basic level of,
at this point, that's true. Yeah.
yeah.
And there's more just always there's
Yeah.
always what is the opportunity for personal development? What does that look like? It's always
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always present. It's
Absolutely.
always available.
Absolutely. And I want to kind of backtrack for a minute. This was just popping in to different stages of my life. Like before I had understood this, even at a basic level, I was always, as humans do, looking for ways to lock it down. Like, oh, once I get this figured out, everything's good, And I think way back to when I was teaching, I was like, after the 7 years of teaching, my salary will be this. And, that's pretty good. Like I can do these things and this, and I can, I'll have this time off and like just trying to bring order to my world and going, oh, this will all work, but then like, well, what about expansion? What about inflation? What about wanting more out of life? What about, you getting activated or me getting
Yeah.
activated and having more to offer and all these things. And what I found is like just the irony of that is when we allow ourselves to expand, the idea of locking anything down, the idea of like, oh, and then it'll be okay. Like it has to be okay today because we're moving like, and again, that like, this is just popping in. Like we're on this earth, this organic planet that's, spinning. I don't even know how fast, like one revolution a day. Like that's pretty damn fast, like hurtling around the sun. Like at what, like the idea of, I just would be nice if the Earth was just a little more static. Like the Earth is not static. The solar system is not static. Like, and if our goal, like the organizing energy of the universe is not static. Like look at any science. It's not static. It's dynamic. It's constantly in relationship with itself
Yeah.
and in relationship with everything around it and always expanding.
Tom Hanks again comes to mind for whatever reason.
Again, I didn't know he did the first time. I didn't.
With the Forrest Gump.
Gotcha.
With the
Yeah,
Forrest
yeah,
Gump.
yeah, yeah,
He's on the island and he makes his raft. Like, and we're
yeah,
all like, Tom Hanks getting off the island. And now he's got to deal with the raft that's falling apart. He's got to deal with the waves. Like getting off the island was step one. Like,
yeah,
but we hunker down into getting off the island. Good luck, dude. Like it's like things just started getting off the
yeah,
island. The
yeah.
island was safe. And also you're going to die there. So
Wilson can't save you.
Wilson's not going to be your savior. So you got to get off the island, make that raft, and also keep that thing together as you get to your next destination.
Yeah, and trust the currents, right?
Yeah.
And that whole piece when we're fighting against what needs to be. I mean, it's so funny to me. Like when I think about how I navigate now, uh, it's I think when I first started to realize that I could use resonance and access to navigate, it was still from a very like, okay, here's David, moving through the world in this like 3D way. Oh, I want guidance. What's the best way to achieve this, or what's the best way to, or what's right for me here. And now it's like that when we're just locked in, or our will and God's will are aligned, like it's just so seamless. There's not it's just because, oh, like this is lighting up over here. And it's like, it's almost like having a thought that says, I feel like doing this today. It's like, oh, I'm feeling like, I'm going for a walk and like, oh, this feels like, and it's as simple as every decision I make, just one feels more expansive than the other. And it's always, it's like I walk out of my house, I'm going for a walk. Am I going left or right? Like, oh, the right feels more expansive. That's the way I'm going. And not for any logical reason other than that has become logic for me is
Yeah.
when I feel expansion, that's what I'm walking towards.
That's cool.
And, and when is that not true for me? When is that not effective? Well, if I leave my alignment and if I go into, some egoic idea that says, oh, I'm going to do this, or this is the way things need to be, or this is how this person needs to be, then that whole system turns to garbage. And the whole system now works to get us back on track with our alignment and creates consequences and creates situations and creates clarity that goes, oh, that's not working for me.
Oh, that's true too.
Beautiful. What a great conversation. Simplicity, right?
Yeah. I was laughing at the top of our talk because as we typically do, we start going, well, what are we talking about today? And you introduced the topic and I was like, oh, that sounds easy.
Yeah, just follow the organizing energy. It's simple.
And then when I heard it the second time, I was like laughing at my joke to myself. So I'm glad one of us laughed into my silent
that's the exact
joke.
same thing. The first time I started hearing guidance, I was like, oh man, life is going to be easy. I didn't realize that guidance was going to just steer me back to my alignment. And I'd be trying to go left and it would force me to go right. It would, and anything that kept me from going right, it would force me right into the circumstances that would help me realize that I needed to grow beyond that old thinking or that old limitation or that old trauma or whatever it was. And then I could go. It wasn't just cool navigating. It wasn't just this voice in my head, go right here, go left here, go right here. Oh yeah, everything's great. Like, oh yeah, you just won the lottery. That's awesome. Oh, look at everybody loves you. This is great. You love yourself. That's fantastic. Like, that's not what it works. It's like, okay, what are the obstacles between me loving myself and my, and my current experience? What are the obstacles between people loving me and my current experience? What are the obstacles between, the financial freedom and my current experience? What are the options? And that's what the organizing energy of the universe takes us through.
And that's
the more we can go,
syllabus.
Let me just fast track these lessons and these experiences by not having this stubbornness of trying to force it the other way, but just let it work for me and let shit resolve inside me. Yeah.
Yes.
So if that sounds like fun, check out our websites. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for listening, everyone. It's always fun to record these and put them together. So hope it was really valuable for you. Have a great week. We hope you enjoyed listening to today's podcast. And if you did, please subscribe so you can catch the next episode. If you want to learn more about the Aligned Living System and how it could support you in your life, check out davidwaldas.com.